My life is like a video game, trying hard to beat the stage, all while I am still collecting coins. Trying hard to save the girl, obstacles, I'm jumping hurdles. I'm growing up to be a big boy. A battle with the evil ways, I travel far and try and say, sorry, but your princess isn't here. Take a rest, I push the pause, level up and move along in hopes that the next stage I will clear. It's just a game that we play, and for heaven's sakes, looking for a better way to play it. Life is for keeping score and forevermore. Stop complaining and start changing it.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on here, to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect and how it affects them and the price of milk. Thank you. And be sure to hit the like and subscribe down below.
I do it now. I've done it my whole life, Brian.
Hey guys,
You keep
good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects of the like. Thanks for joining. Welcome all Mandela affecting say. So anyway, I got my phrase back.
crazy.
I've been using all these intros. I keep forgetting my phrase, but there we go. I guess it's like riding a bike, huh? But anyway, speaking of riding a bike, we're going back to keyboarding 101 here. Where and by the way, folks, I have Teresa Lynch with me. She's my residue hunter. Hey Teresa.
Hey everybody! Welcome back from the eclipse. We're still here.
Yep, we're still here after the eclipse. Thank
I
God,
was
right?
scared.
Man.
Yeah, oh my God. I feel so much better.
Me too. I feel like a big rock is off my back now. But
Now
anyway.
if we can get through September 23rd.
I know, right? That's our next milestone. So
That's
anyway.
the next milestone.
Speaking of rocks and laws and stuff like that, and the weight of everything right now, apparently the keyboard has changed with our typing. Our keyboarding practices have changed, although for people in this reality it's been like this since 1950s. So I just want to say that this website, Above the Law, seems pretty accurate to what I remember. So, and this post was, I actually owe this Mandela effect to Mary. Mary told me about this one earlier today. This is huge. It says right here. Well, let me ask you guys. Do you remember single space or double space after a period? Well, let me tell you. Me and half the rest of the world remembers two spaces after a period. That's what we were taught. I still do it. I still text people, you know, and I still type in my my programs like, you know, Evernote and all that kind of stuff. Word, I still type two spaces. This just looks so weird now with one space. Does it not, Teresa?
It looks weird with one space, yeah.
But this article tells it exactly what I'm going through. A plague is coming over our land, and by the way, this is Law Prof Log, okay, March 21st, 2017, okay? Plague is coming over the land. There was a time when words mattered. They were metered. They meant something. With the proliferation of social media, words came in abundance. Then sometime somewhere, someone decided that to increase the readability of words and to ensure we could we could pack more of them in, we should only single space after the period at the end of a sentence. So clearly I missed this trend. For some reason I was in my own little world. That's me too. I'm literally, I'm like Rain Man sometimes, aren't I, Teresa?
Yes.
For some reason, I was in my own little world, not realizing that editors were single spacing my double spaced sentences. Meanwhile, online, people were being ridiculed for using the extra space. They were told they were old, outmoded, a relic of a quainter time when of monospaced fonts and manual typewriters. If you are of my generation, your typing instructor may have taught you to double space after a period at the end of a sentence, but modern keyboarding teaches otherwise. Worse, your credibility may be at stake if you use double spacing after a period. What? Man, this the whole thing messes me up. Okay, and it makes your work less aesthetically pleasing. People have spent a great deal of time training themselves that no longer tap that spacebar twice after a period in order to confirm the current fashion. I remember keyboarding class, learning on the Apple back in 1985 or 1986, having to use the. Actually, it might have been close. It might have been closer to 87.
Smith Corona. I'm before you.
I was about. What grade were you in, Teresa, when you learned keyboarding?
After I graduated from high school in '81, I went straight to a technology school, and I took it business administration. So I would say the better part of '81 and '82, and I went there like 2 to 3 years. So '81, '82, and '83 for me, and I remember the two spaces. I was taught that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we learned, I learned on the word processing. I didn't learn word processor. I didn't learn on a typewriter.
Well, the computer came after. The computer came after, and I still use two spaces, even on the word processor. I think. Have you heard of a linear? It was a linear.
Can't say I have.
Yes. So it was first. The typing was two spaces. And then when I went on to taking the computer, then I still remained with two spaces. And therefore, that stuck with me till now. And I'm going to stay with it, and I don't care. Nobody's changing it.
I know. I'm still sticking to two spaces. I don't care if they ignore my resume or anything like that.
My boss's boss, they send out emails, and these are like the principals. They all do two spaces, and this is even from the owners of the company. Oh, yeah.
You look at this article. Like with the single space, you can't tell where the sentence ends and where the new one begins. With the double space, you can. Otherwise, you think it's a comma.
That's politically incorrect.
Yeah. Otherwise,
incorrect.
yes, and otherwise you're thinking it's a comma. Some people might misread it.
Yes.
So no matter. See, that's me. I choose to rebel too. From here on out, I am a devotee of the rich tradition of grammar. Every sentence we write matters.
Even my newspapers here have two spaces. I'm looking at one of my newspapers here, and they have two spaces after it. I'm looking at it. My local newspaper, right here, two spaces after a sentence. 1, 2.
I think it comes down to making it simpler for people, but at the same time, you're making it less readable too.
Maybe the newspapers do it if it was wrong.
Are the newspapers doing single space now or double space?
Double. I'm looking at them right here.
Really?
It's two spaces. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Well, like look at the comma space and look at the other space. Is it still two space?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm looking right here. Yeah, it's two spaces.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell there is a difference. Right here, the guy puts a double space right here, but there's a Okay. Okay. What? Hang on a second. Did it flip on me? I could have sworn I'd just seen him do two spaces. Or one. Okay, there is no comparison in the single space. Of course, none of the stereotypes are true. Yeah.
You could always type something on the computer and do a screenshot and show the difference.
I may be old-fashioned, that's me, but I'm still going to stick to two spaces. And even no matter what Wikipedia says, okay, you're not going to force me.
Two spaces rule.
That's right.
Two.
It says here, Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia says, this is what they say. The desired or correct sentence spacing is often debated, but many sources now say additional space is not necessary or desirable. From 1950, single sentence spacing became standard in books, magazines, and newspapers, and the majority of style guides that use a Latin-derived alphabet as a language now prescribe or recommend the use of single space after the concluding punctuation of a sentence. However, some sources still state that additional spacing is correct or acceptable. So that's good. It's still acceptable, but it's a Mandela. Mandela's work like that.
Yep.
And this is funny because 4 hours ago, look, Andrew Smith says, "I'm north of 40 and I've never used two spaces after a period." What? That doesn't make sense. He must be from the other reality. It has recently come to my attention that one doesn't type two spaces after typing a period anymore. I still do this. I'm a monster. See, that's me. That's 7 hours ago. So this is a trend now. It's picking up due to social media. Let's see. Chris says, "I'm so glad I don't need to put two spaces after a period anymore." Can someone please tell the 40-plus crowd that two spaces after a period is so over? What? See that? They're telling me I'm old now. I'm not. No. Let's see. Two spaces after a period.
Being old.
Okay, for legal documents. Okay, it says right here, which Aaron, 14 hours ago. Two spaces are required for legal documents. It's hard to remember to do. See, some people are having that struggle. This is interesting. Jay Anderson on Twitter puts, "I failed a job-related typing test in 2008 because their system required two spaces after a period. My whole test was one character off." Then it said here, two spaces after a period is largely a holdover from typewriter days. If you learn to type from someone from said error, that could be why. No, I like this person here. This is August 22nd. Robert Feek. He says, "I will never stop putting two spaces after a period. It just looks better." Yep, me too. I'm with you, buddy. I like on the Android and iPhone, whenever you double space, it automatically puts the period in for you. See, that's convenient for me. I hope they don't change that feature. Shelly says, "If you type two spaces after a period, you're doing it wrong." It really, really is. Gosh, I don't know, guys. Some of these people are being... Yeah, I don't know if I could unlearn it, you know what I mean? I could try, seriously, but no, they're not going to force me.
It would slow down my typing speed. I type about 80 to 85 words a minute. It would literally slow me down.
You know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like, okay, I don't know how to describe it, actually, because it's late here where I'm at. But it's like learning to ride a unicycle now, whereas before we were on a bicycle. It's just crazy. I'm not gonna, no. Quickanddirtytips.com. There's a lot of ones that say now you don't have to double space. I think it's just laziness. Someone says here, "If you learn to type on a typewriter, you're going to hate what I say next. Do not put two spaces after a period. Don't do it. Just use one." And someone said, "I know. I was taught to use two spaces after a period in my high school typing class too. But you know what? It's not that hard to break the habit. I haven't been tempted to type two spaces for decades." What? No. Okay, yeah, this is the comparison. Okay, well, they say it's not like quitting smoking. I don't find myself in nostalgic typewriting situations, but suddenly get hit by unexpected urge to type two spaces. So, the modern, easy-to-follow style is to put one space after a period. And, you know, what's funny is I took English 101, where, you know, they get... English 101, okay, is about, you know, where they teach you grammar and stuff like that. If you stick to grammar, and you had a teacher like I did, you would probably put two spaces still. Okay? So... I don't know. I don't know if I could get used to it. This person says, "I will not comply. Never heard of this before. Before this sentence are two spaces, but before this one is only one space again, now two spaces. You're right. Really can't tell much difference. I'm thinking it has to do with Twitter. Wow. I don't know. I think there's a big difference. I don't know, guys. Could you? Here's the question. If it really is one space now, could you get used to it? Yeah, probably. You know, I think for readability and legal purposes, I mean, we should just have the standard two spaces like we all learned, you know? Why reinvent the wheel? Teresa, you there?
I'm here, yeah.
I was hoping to find...
Grammar and everything, too.
So what is the...
Oh, did you talk about the word worser?
Yes.
That's the word now.
Worser is in the dictionary. Is that right, Teresa?
Yeah.
There's because we were taught there's good, better, and best. And there's worse and there's worst. But now apparently we have worser, you're saying?
Yeah, it's a word now. Yeah.
What? No.
Serious.
No.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. I'm not
No.
kidding. Worser word.
Hang on a second.
W-R-S-E-R.
Is worser correct grammatically?
I told you.
Hang on a second. The worser part of it.
Worser. Worser.
I looked it up. There are 21 instances of worser in Shakespeare's works. You guys heard that, right? There, if you look in Shakespeare's works, worser. Okay, I know there's. Okay, worser still. Sounds like Worcestershire sauce. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, this is an example of Sonnet 144 from Shakespeare. Two loves I have of comfort and despair, which like two spirits do suggest me still. The better angel is a man right fair, the worser spirit a woman colored ill. I don't know, I guess. Now it's making me think twice about worser, that it could actually be the way, you know, could actually be correct, but I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one, guys. I'm gonna let you decide on that, Mandela, because it's late. But on that worser one, but I think the verdict is out about the two spaces. Two spaces is over and done with right now in this reality. But I know, like many of you and myself, I'm not gonna stop typing two spaces. That's how I was taught. I don't want to unlearn it. You know, it just. Anyway, guys, just let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for checking me out, and have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless. Teresa, you got any final comments?
No, I'm just laughing about that word worser.
Yeah.
Because I've actually said it before, but I didn't know it was really a word. That's what's funny.
Well, you know, my mother used to always correct me on the word, on another word. You know, there's the word put. Like when you put something somewhere, and put is like the past tense as well. Well, I used to mistakenly like when I talked, I used to say putted. Putted is not a word. The word is put. Did you ever use that word putted? My son uses that word. He's 8. I have to correct him every time. But who knows? I mean, with the Mandela effect, anything's possible. They could. I don't know, guys. You tell me what you think. And have a great night, guys.
Good night.